started the stream when I went to brush my teeth, and because I have like this condition well, skincare routine, I need to apply some like, special gel or something like that to but that's besides the point. Right. So I'm so sorry for being late. Let the channel like the that. Yeah. Welcome in everybody. Welcome in. Welcome Beamlays. Welcome Chikatori. Hey, aren't you supposed to be asleep, Chika? Welcome Dustlight. Welcome Radicals. Welcome Kaja Hunter. Blossom. Butts. Pots and Pans. Izanagi. Welcome everybody. Sirens, welcome in. What's Chaos Chaos playing through this? Yeah. So I don't have my avatar open up because I really want to address what happened. So the story goes that on Sunday morning, Sunday. Right, I'm gonna tune down the music. Hello. Can you guys hear me now? I think it's making it worse. Advanced audio properties. What? Oh my god. The radiator's on as well, so it doesn't really flip and help. One sec. Hello? Okay, finally, let me choose my microphone. And yeah, apparently the oh god. Wait a second. Where is the advanced audio properties again? Not that. There we go. Advanced audio properties. 0 decibels. There we go. Finally. Okay. Once again. MJ jump scare. Yeah, sorry, mate. I didn't realize that my audio output was set to my camera. My microphone was set to my camera anyways. But yeah, before I start building, I'm gonna tell you guys what happened in the last 2 days. So, the story goes that on Sunday morning, I saw an email where there was like a sort of copyright warning. And I thought, I'm gonna do my due diligence and just get rid of it because tackle the copyright warning because it targeted the last live stream that I did, like the last Alkaid Pink 2 stream that I did, and that was a bad idea because I was so confident because like you know these screens, you know this screen, yeah, those are resources from Canva, so they should be royalty free. And I thought because I have no copyrighted music in the background, I have no copyrighted material, so I thought maybe it was those screens that got me that copyright thing. And because they crafted the email to look very legit, as if it's an actual studio that is putting down that copyright warning, I thought, yeah, this is something that needs tackling because what if that Canva resource wasn't actually royalty free at all? So initially I cannot sign in because my phone is just being my phone, and afterward I followed the link that is set in the email. I successfully logged in, and then realized that it just led to another Google page. So I thought my heart sank right at that instant. It's like, oh shit, I fell for a scam. So I immediately went ahead and changed my password, but that didn't even matter because the hackers have nabbed my session key. So they've nabbed my session key, and that means they can recreate my entire browsing session, including all my logins. So like a couple minutes later, they locked me out of my account, and then all the shit that you saw happen on stream happened. What do you mean the music and mic? Oh. So yeah, I contacted Team YouTube as soon as I realized that I fell for a scam. So I contacted them, and they just regularly send that old formulaic bullshit with the whole, oh, if you cannot access or recover your account type of thing. And so I was yelling at them for like 4 hours straight because I woke up at like 7:45, and I was gonna resolve that alleged copyright issue before I went back to bed and I slept in because I also have work that day. But as soon as I noticed that I fell for a scam, I simply, I don't know, as soon as I realized that I fell for a scam, I simply like yelled at YouTube, and then okay, fine. YouTube is. I was constantly refreshing Team YouTube's Twitter page, and they were like responding to many other tickets and many other requests. So it's like, okay, they're gonna get back to me soon. So I might as well just go sleep, get my energy back, and hope that they respond. Second, like the first thing I noticed when I woke up for the second time was that my channel was hacked, and there's all that crypto shit on the front page. So it's like, oh no, they've nicked it. So I took a screenshot of that page, and then I was constantly tagging Team YouTube, and I was asking literally everybody I know to help tag Team YouTube. So I literally asked you guys in my Discord. I put a post out, and then I asked you guys in my Discord, Jury's Discord, and I put out the posts across like every server that allows every server that I'm in that allows self-promotion. I put that out there. And I also went to the extreme of asking Zaku Aurelius and It's a Gundam to help. So because It's a Gundam has contacts over at Google, not Google, YouTube. He has a YouTube rep. So he helped me forward the case to Google, and I don't know whether or not that had an effect. But ultimately, Team YouTube got back to me in the middle of my shift. It was like, what is it, 4 or 5 p.m. for me at the time, and they sent me a DM, and during they sent in the mid. No, that's not the timeline. So I began my shift, and like somewhere between 3 p.m. they shut my channel. Like they've expired the login session. So the hacker has been booted out of the system, and later on they sent me a Twitter DM telling me to go to the form to apply for to refer my case to the specialists, and I just left it right there, and I referred my case. I didn't refer my case to the specialists until after my shift because I thought that I would still have the hyperlink for my AdSense account. So, whatever the case, I referred my case to the specialists, but then I couldn't sleep that night. I woke up at like 3, and I slept at 1, woke up at 3, and found out that my channel got shut down. I initially thought that everything was gonna be over, like really be it at that point, but then until the next morning, at like 10, the YouTube support came back to me, and we had a very quick back and forth, like across the couple, ever since from 10 to like 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. we had constant back and forths just to try and recover my account. And luckily, by the time I was done with by the time I had to go to work, I've already recovered my account. Thank God for that. And I've submitted an appeal to get my channel reinstated because they shut it down for security reasons. Thank God they have that distinction. And like, I checked my YouTube account at like the first break, which is like 4 p.m. and I realized that my channel's gone back up. So that's ultimately how everything ended. So thankfully, we've ended on like a good note. So I immediately got to securing. So once I got my account back, I immediately got to securing my account, and I've checked the logs, and they say that the address is from the United Kingdom, which is, I don't know, dubious to say the least, because the next 8 to 12 security events came from an unknown device. They don't even know where the alleged IP address came from. So that's all. Water under the bridge. Thankfully, I got my channel back, and I'm so glad to every single one of you who visited my Twitter page, informed me on Instagram. I'm so glad that you guys, like over 10,000 of you guys, have seen that, seen my hacked post, and a lot of you guys have retweeted, quote tweeted, basically yelled at Team YouTube to do something about it. And maybe it was the fuss, maybe it was the help from It's a Gundam, but ultimately I got my channel back, and I cannot be more thankful for you guys. And on top of that, we went from 19,316 subs down to 19,205, but now we've bounced back to 19,271. So not only did you guys cause a fuss and cause to get YouTube's attention, you guys have came back very quickly, so we can very easily like make the damage back up and go from where we have left off. So honestly, I am so thankful for you guys' help. And honestly, lesson learned, if the copyright warning isn't issued to the login email of my channel, because they sent it to my business email, which is publicly available for everyone. So long as like YouTube Creator Studio doesn't flag my videos for a copyright warning, and that the warning itself isn't sent to my login email, then it's a red flag. It's a false alarm, and that I can easily just delete that. Yeah, all of those to push crypto scams. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, can go over 9,000. What do you mean? I'm already over 9,000. But yeah, there's always a Bitcoin stream. Yeah. How many times have I went over other channels? It's a damn serious issue that keeps happening. And then again, it's also ultimately my responsibility for falling for those scams. So I really do want to apologize here. I really wasn't thinking straight because it was early in the morning. I freaked out. And since I'm usually very careful with copyright stuff, I thought that this was going to be a big issue. But in fact, they used the sense of responsibility to prey on like YouTube channels, and false copyright happens all the time. But you can immediately there are some instances where you can immediately tell it's false because you're confident that your content has no copyrighted material. But like I said, I wasn't thinking straight. I was half awake, and I thought I was just gonna resolve this and go back to bed. So it's ultimately my responsibility for getting my channel hacked. Thankfully, there is no malware remaining on my computer, because all they did was use a web-based attack and just nicked my session key. So there was nothing installed on my computer. There's no malware. There's no executable. There's no nothing. I just had to purge my browser of any of my cookies, and then reestablish it from there. So hopefully that means I'm safe for the time being. But anyways, I've rambled on for long enough. So I rambled on for 15 minutes. So thank you all so much for the support, and and for getting my channel back. Thank you so much for worrying about me having my back. And I guess now that I've rambled on, my mouth's gotten a bit dry, so I'll be right back. I'll have to reapply some stuff. Alright, so I'm back. And I'm utterly not prepared for this stream because I haven't set up any of the runners beside me. And all I really wanted to do was just to hang out with you guys for this one. And since you guys in the Discord have voted for the Alkaid, I might as well keep building that. So what do we need here? A, C, F. I'll catch up on chat. Waiting for jump scare scene around crystal basement. Yeah, indeed. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Hey RB, getting hats. Hope you're doing well. It's been a rough time, honestly. It's been very rough because I need L, M, N, P, S, and T2. Right, now that we're ready, let's get to building. Yeah, it's a phishing scam, yeah. I missed the one in 19,000. Ah. For that Dragon Ball reference, eh? So, for once, even though it's unhealthy to do, I am gonna keep track of my numbers. So, we are now about 40 subscribers from the peak, and then we can move on from there. Yeah, it's a phishing scam. How many times it happened? Yep. I'm glad you guys are happy to see me back. And what is everyone building? I realized my phone suddenly received phone numbers of zones that I never went to before. Block them. Hey Tsunami. Yeah, I was hacked. Why don't you use Instagram? I haven't seen any new posts from it. Mostly because I was just lazy, and because Instagram for me, I use it to just check on product news. So I haven't really put out anything on it. And I don't really know how to Instagram, just because if I were to post like, oh, a new video is out, the links in like image captions wouldn't be a hyperlink. It would just be just a string of text. So yeah, it's mostly just me being lazy that I don't use Instagram that much to promote my stuff. But I think I really should go back to doing that. So in case you guys have any like knowledge on how to use Instagram, then tell me. Hey 2S, yep, glad to be back. And oh my god, Neo Zeon, no, no Neo Zeon. It's too large for my collection. There's a reason I don't already have the Dendrobium yet. Debates on get the new high grade ability to the Titans Mark II revival, the G Fred, or getting a new game or DLC for one. Not sure. Not sure. Like, do you prefer gaming or do you prefer to build another model kit? Because the ones you brought up are pretty good on their own. And sorry if I'm speaking a bit weird, because the condition on my mouth that I mentioned earlier, it's apparently like a sort of dermatitis. And that has never happened before I got into my freezer job. It hasn't reoccurred that badly. It hasn't been a thing in my life for like ever since before the job. So I went to the doctors yesterday while I was waiting for my YouTube support person to get back to me. And I've asked them about the condition, and it's like, oh yeah, where you work doesn't really help with your recovery, but here's what you can do. We will prescribe you metronidazole. No, metronidazole. It's a sort of gel that is a topical antibacterial. So they would issue that for me. And they told me that it was normal that it would dry my mouth out, because I've been using it for weeks and I never really liked the feeling of it. But apparently it was supposed to dry my mouth out. So now that I know the instructions on how to use the gel, my eldritch horror of a mouth is starting to actually recover. And they've also recommended me to get a sort of bland moisturizer, so as to not have any irritants in it, while also being able to moisturize my mouth. Because the typical thing of using petroleum jelly, my current condition is that I'm apparently allergic to petroleum jelly, so I cannot use that for moisturizing my mouth. And I've also been hydrating a damn of a lot often. Like, I've been like drinking like at least a liter of water every single day. And granted, I did slack a bit while I was on my holiday, but I really regret doing that. So I'm gonna keep tabs on my hydration and keep on using the gel the proper way and moisturize whenever I can. I've also been taking B12, zinc, and omega-3 supplements to hopefully help with the recovery. And honestly, even though my mouth looked like an absolute like horror, it's recovered quite a bit compared to yesterday, just because I applied the gel correctly. So I'm glad about that, honestly. It's the sooner I can recover from this dermatitis condition, the better. Because this whole thing about the gel, it's drying out my skin, is kind of like tightening on my mouth. So maybe my enunciation, maybe my speaking wouldn't be as like fluent. And because I have the gel on my mouth currently, I may sound a little bit weird. So I do want to apologize for that. If I do sound a bit weird, it's just because I'm trying to keep my mouth movement and my oral movement to a minimum, just so I don't like tear open any like new skin or like just further induce any pain on myself. Because like the reason that I've lost sleep recently. Oh my god, this is tight. That's what she said. The reason that I lost sleep recently, not just because of the hacking, but I've been losing sleep for the past week. The reason is that like my mouth was so dry, and I tried to like use my own solutions to tackle that. I used relief cream. I used like some sort of like I used Blistex, and apparently that may be the issue. Oh my god, that's tight. Right, so to prevent breakage, I'm gonna sand it down with a 600, and hopefully that would help out a little bit. You glad to see you back on your feet. Hey Wolfheart, welcome back. Hey Golden Foxy, build an HFX, regret not doing it so far. Yeah, I'm on Prozac myself because your girl has issues. On 10 milligrams right now, and I'm gonna go on to 20, so yay, antidepressants. Hey Hireth, it's going well so far. It's going well. I've only just started the builds because I was busy telling my story on how I got hacked. That's not good enough. But yeah. So I've been losing sleep just because my mouth was so dry that I couldn't stay asleep, and I don't know if it's because of like stress from work or some random other stuff that I was going through, that I couldn't sleep at all. So I was going to work sleep deprived as it already is. I was checking in on my channel, and thankfully it was still, oh my god. It's that socket that's the issue. Right, so new plan of attack. Just a little bit more. I heard a trick of using a pencil to smooth the joints, similar to oil. Oh yeah, I do have a mechanical pencil right behind me. Okay, so I've roughened that up, so the graphite will probably stick to it better. Let's hope this works, because this is a temporary solution to this problem. Actually, Hobby Clubhouse actually recommended this in one of his videos. I forgot which one. I think it was the Lightning Buster Gundam that he recommended using this pencil trick, like the Joker, to loosen up the joints. Yep, that worked out a treat. So the thing is that a nub? That is a nub. Trying to distance my mind from the situation happened over the weekend on Sunday. My real great new needs her legs to be done, and I'm also super apprehensive to do it just because of ice association. Why? What do you mean association? You use body lotion without petroleum jelly. Most lip balm use petroleum jelly, or maybe something with beeswax. Yeah, that's the thing. And I bought the exact moisturizer that my doctor recommended, and it contains cetylceridil, alcohol, and colocrosol, or whatever that compound is called. So it doesn't contain any irritants, but it does contain something that will cause contact dermatitis, which is not my condition. And since today I'm off today, tomorrow, and Thursday, hopefully that will speed up the recovery, because I'm so sick of my mouth just being dry all the time anymore, and I may need to moisturize after stream. Okay, so with this glossy joint, and I don't know if I have a target for tonight, because this kit has spanned 2 streams already, and I still have the legs, the gauntlets, the backpack, and the plethora of weapons to build. And I am not building the stand on stream. That has some intricate wiring that I need to deal with, so I would rather do it on my own accord. Right. Reason why I was in the debate due to how I have a choice between high grades for the 00 Gundam, XCL Lupus Rex, L Strike Revive, and the LHFX, and my local hobby store 40% off sales week. That's not bad, actually. Maybe you should get something during the sale if one of those kits are what you're looking for. I have L Strike, XCL, HFX, and MJ has the Lupus Rex. I personally recommend the Strike and HFX. I have all of those kits, and they're pretty good. So yeah, back to my sleep deprivation. I was already stressed out about getting the last few videos for 2025 done. I was worried about the channel growth. So, and I was settling back into working, and honestly, I don't know why, but I've fell into like another depressive episode. I'm not gonna get into that because I don't want this to be a full pity party, but just so you guys know where my mind is at, not the best place. So I was already in a bit of a rut. Then then the hacking happened, which isn't good. So, yeah, I'm trying to get back on my feet, and I have finished the— oh my god. Why would they turn the radiator on when it's not even single digits in the temperatures? Come on. Jeez. Yeah, I'm probably gonna moisturize after stream, wind down, and then put another layer of that gel on. Because it's feeling rather unbearable having to talk with that gel on me at the same time. There's a little bit of blood on my fingers because my lips started bleeding. But that's besides the point. Hey, Xenozist! Thank you for the gifted membership! Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships! Hey! Thank you for the gifted memberships to Sirenus, Reiji, Then the Family, Oh My Bones, Nedals, Sogi King, Doi Nugen, Dan Chaos, Kampf, Nero Spada, and yeah. Welcome to the memberships. Thank you for the 10 gifted. I don't know why my alerts aren't working. Why aren't my alerts working? Wait a second. I'm gonna figure it out later on. Just because I swapped to OBS, I may consider swapping back to Streamlabs then. But yeah, have a good rest of your stream. Drop by to see how things work. Might as well celebrate the return. Oh, thank you so much. And thank you so much for popping by. GOG for the meme. Oh, the two NG kits I had to build are Vidar and Gog. The Vidar is a pretty good kit, though. I don't know. Maybe you would want to build a Gog to begin with. But yeah, today I'm not gonna be ass chat. Oh my god, this is unbearable. I should have known. I should have known that, bloody... I need the mouth... my mouth needs the flexibility to speak, so... I should have known that applying something that constricts my flexibility wouldn't be a good idea. So I've wiped that gel off, and, applied the recommended moisturizer, so now that I can actually talk. This is actually one of the reasons why I was slowing down, like one of the other reasons why I was slowing down the videos, because it was so unbearable to talk with that. And Adicox, yeah, that's the exact dermatitis that that my doctor said I have. No, oh, not Adicox, Orbi. That's the dermatitis that my doctor said. So it's like, what is it? Perorial dermatitis? Yeah, that is it. So I'm trying my best to recover from it fully, and I brought my moisturizer in, just in case I need to do that from time to time in the stream. So maybe so maybe on this stream I'm just gonna target finishing the legs and call it a day, because this stream was unplanned. I wasn't planning to even have a stream, but I basically thought that you guys deserve to know that I'm fine. That I said, sure, I might as well just get a stream up, just so you guys know that I'm still around, that I'm fine after the whole thing that happened. Very happy, you okay? Yeah? What's the pen for? No, this is not a pen. This is a mechanical pencil. So, you guys know what a pencil is. So essentially this is like, for some reason, a very stereotypically Asian stationery. I don't know why. I don't know if you guys know what a mechanical pencil even is, but it's essentially like sticks of graphite that you load into a pencil, like the mechanical pencil, and then you can just use it as a pencil. I don't know why it was like all the rage while I was growing up, but for some reason people look at you differently, as if you have a higher status when you have a mechanical pencil. So that's what I was using to like kind of give the joints some graphite so that they can be inserted properly. Yeah, I'm Providence on Discord. Yeah, okay. So and the reason I have the reason I have a mechanical pencil on hand is that, you know, those runner the pictures of the runners that I take for every single review. Now I really wanted to just not depend on sending my pictures to others to see whether or not they'd be passable for a video. So what I did is I took my mechanical pencil and just look at the parts count of this thing. I basically tick them off. So if the runners on the photos look good enough, I just tick them off. Kind of like checking for attendance. So essentially that's what that is. Oh god. Yeah, my lips are bleeding, so that's not a good sign. I see. I've done that for the waist on the High Great Lightning Buster. Did you watch Hobby Clubhouse's video? Is that why you did it? I have the one that turns as you lift from the paper. What do you mean, Wolf? What do you mean? My hands got to the point where I couldn't use my hands for anything. They just cracked and caused pain that made me almost throw up. Oh yeah. Well, hand dermatitis would have been far worse if I'm completely honest. Just because you can have no mouth, so you can have no mouth yet you must scream, but you cannot have no hands because you literally cannot do anything without hands. Honestly, with how much of a hermit I am, I can basically live my life without speaking to anybody ever. Well, I mean, I could survive it, but I don't know if I could live it. So I can still do stuff because I have my hands, but having hand dermatitis, that sounds like a bloody nightmare. Because then again you cannot use your hands. So I don't know. I was a little bit apprehensive about doing the stream anyway, but I don't know. I just feel like I owe it to you guys. So the lead itself turns as you lift from the paper. I don't understand. To be frank, as a kid, pens are for adults, and seeing a pencil that looks like a pen is cool. For grown-ups, rather. Ah. Probably so. Because for some reason, like when you're in school while you were young, you were always told to start by using pencils. And that only the adults can use pens. But then that thought gets completely thrown out the window. At least from where I'm from. Because I start using pencils from kindergarten to like primary 3 or so. And then starting from primary 4, they've required us to use pens for some stupid reason. And then there are always like these instances where it's like, oh, you can only use a pen. Like specific, especially for like quizzes and tests and whatnot. And when you have those multiple choice questions, sometimes when the fact that you can, like, those multiple choice questions that you fill in, you don't write the answer on the box next to it. You fill the thing in. So sometimes it gets to a point where it's just annoying because you cannot erase a pen. Well, not unless you use the ones from Pilot. So that's why they were all the rage back in the day, because the moments where you were required to use pens, you just ran into that bit of a pickle. And then at around that time, Pilot started releasing those erasable pens. So it's for that exact reason that they were expensive, because the inks have to be special, and you get looked at differently for having a Pilot pen just because they were that special, thanks to their erasable qualities. Now I'm gonna do it leg by leg. Screw it. I'm just gonna follow the instructions and not just try and guess. So, do you guys have like those weird school regulations where you have to use a specific type? Because when you get molded into it, N. Do I not have N? I didn't bring it over. How dumb of me. So when you get molded into like using like one thing or the other, and then when the rules are secretly removed, so like by the time when I get to like secondary school, I was told that, oh, you can actually just use your pencil for those multiple choice questions. It's like, huh? Why didn't you tell me? I was so stuck in like thinking that, oh, you must use pens going forward. So I'm so stuck to the point where I just couldn't comprehend. Maybe it was me just being stupid and whatnot, because nobody mentioned it. Literally nobody mentioned that you can use your pens, you can use your pencils wherever a pencil is the better choice. So for like those multiple choice questions and whatnot. So nobody told me, so I didn't know, and then I ran into like a couple of instances where it's like, oh, I cannot correct my answers. I need to use correction tape to completely like cross out my my answers, and then just fill in the other one. And then I only knew after the fact that I can use pencils. So it's a rather ridiculous thing. And now that I'm talking about it, it just kind of brings me back to a time where we had to learn cursive. I don't know if you got, have you guys ever needed to learn cursive while you were in school? Because I feel like it was absolutely pointless. Not unless you're doing like sophisticated calligraphy or something. Otherwise, I think cursive is absolutely useless. We were forced to learn cursive while we were in primary 3, and then we were forced to use it for until like primary 6 or something. So I think they've stopped forcing it on us at primary 5. So for any of our English homework. So for any of our English homework, we were forced to use cursive. But I don't know, ultimately we never ended up using it anymore. So doesn't that just feel like a little bit pointless? Okay, so what does this do? So so the vent joins. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. So the vent joins the knee armor to the shin. So that's how they recreate that part separation during the bend. See, I couldn't use a pencil and can't write. I have no ego, and I must Efflorescent. What? I mean, metal versus wood. Yeah, essentially. I've been using mechanical pencils since I was 10. Are you Asian, Reggie? Yeah, in Providence on Discord. My hand. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it looks cooler when spinning when compared to a normal pencil. I never actually spun my pencils before. Mostly because I don't have the dexterity to do that. Right, so that's in. So the F6 and F18. Did I cut out F6? Yeah, I did cut out F6. Where is it? Oh. The runner's massive, by the way, so I couldn't cut it on camera. Wait, what does it say I need again? F18? Oh, the other piece that closes the... Wait. So the point here is that I need to close the... Oh, both of these are F18. I'm such a dummy. I have no hands and I must wave. Yep. It's an odd little contraption of a mechanical pencil. I'll send you a picture of it on Discord. I received it, Wolf. I'll check it out later on. Oh, undergates. Bloody undergates. If you want to see the higher quality mini documentary I made, I have a Google Drive link which I can plop on StreamDump, or the YouTube link to be the whole episode, which includes other stories. I mean, you can put it in StreamDump, it's fine. I couldn't use the pencil and I can't write. My home country told you get pens from 3rd grade already. And we'll see pens from middle school and up. Ah. Yeah, people just being experimental in the wrong way. Yeah. For the MCQ, the ideal thing is to have an answer sheet to transcribe the answers rather than directly on the exam. Thing is, they don't give us that. It was like this 50 question sheet. And you have to put the dots in. And do you guys have like listening exercises where you guys are from? Because like that's where the most like that's where the most, what is it called, multiple choice questions happen. So whenever you have like a listening task, you need to actually answer as you go. You cannot second guess yourself. Granted, you can still put on notes. But the answers go by so quickly, you barely have any time to note down anything. And of course they tell you, like teach you that, oh, you need to pinpoint the main points of the question, pinpoint keywords, and whenever you hear it. And then on the other hand, they can tell you that, oh, the questions aren't sequential to the audio recording. And that trick is exactly why I hate listening exercises. Because you need to be able to catch the answers. You need to be able to know what question the answers correlate to. And especially when they are completely non-sequential, you'll have to flip back and forth with the answers. And then of course mixed into the multiple choice questions are of course the stupid long questions, which you need to, like, I don't know, essentially doodle some answer onto it before like the 5-minute brief period where you're able to actually fully write down the answers. But since you have like merely a couple of seconds to write down some sorts of like answer key points, and at some points you would just forget what you're writing. You cannot comprehend what you're writing about. So it's like, why? I freaking hate like listening exercises. Like, what's the point of them? And you know the funny thing is, in Hong Kong, I don't know if it's just for me or I don't know if it's just a me thing or some other issue. Ooh, look at this. 1, 2. So it's a double, I think a double jointed knee. So this piece goes up. Okay, so that's 1, and then that's 2, and all of the mechanics, all the mechanisms that went into here separates the knee armor, which looks fantastic. So let's get to putting the armor on. If that doesn't happen anyway. I had one teacher who never told us she never reads anything on the back of the paper, so you only get graded on what you write on the front. Does the paper tell you that the answers won't be graded on the back? Red pens are for correcting quizzes. What do you mean I cannot write my notes in red? Yeah, that's another thing. Because when you're answering, they have this weird thing about you're answering your questions in blue or black pen, and you can only do your corrections in green pen. Fair enough. You have those quad color pens that only come out with blue, black, red, or green. That's fair enough. But at some points where you run out of ink on one of the pens, you cannot immediately like switch to like, I don't know, oh, I ran out of ink on my blue pen, so I want to switch to a black pen. That is something that you get docked points for doing. It's just ridiculous. Sent you a picture of the pen. Fortunately, videos in action it's hard. Yeah, fair enough. Hi Juice reporting in. Hello. I learned cursive and was forced to use it in some grades. Yeah, glad you got a channel back. Yep. I'm glad I got my channel back. To be honest, cursive is fun to flex on friends in the US. I mean, I can still recall how to write cursive, mainly because I essentially derived my personal signature from cursive. So maybe it's a good flex? I don't know. But I've never used it beyond primary 5. So ultimately, I think them teaching cursive was rather needless. Because we all write in block letters anyway. It was far quicker to write in block letters, to be honest. Like, the whole thing about them teaching cursive is like, oh, it would be more advantageous in your future because all you need to do is you don't need to lift your pen. You can just write and put on a few strokes here and there, and that's it. But I don't know why schools are also so stringent on handwriting. Like, you know, if you have you guys ever learned kanji like in like Chinese or Japanese, and they have that like those 9 blocks where you have to refer your word, like refer your character to, in order to have like perfect handwriting. It's like, what's the point? Like, to be honest, like when you grow up, all that is required of your handwriting is for it to be comprehensible, and that's about it. So they can, and I mean, in my younger years, like my teachers can really dock points for me trying to freaking like not having neat and tidy handwriting like all the other kids. And I was like pretty, oh my god, what the heck is this about? So I need to put this into this. Alright, let me focus for a little bit. Ugh. Ah! Nope. There's like a guide. Oh my god, it's getting hot in here. There's like a guide rail from underneath to guide the part into it, but it's not working. Ah. That required some force, but we got there. But anyway, neat handwriting. I was like one of the only people that was singled out for having poor handwriting. And nah, that's not good. And especially because I'm autistic, I don't know, I think I've read somewhere that that has something to do with it. So I was judged for my handwriting from literally everybody, even though it's like more comprehensible than like doctors' handwriting or people who take your orders in Hong Kong restaurants. They literally like squiggle the characters into it, and it's like, what the hell were you writing? And for some reason my parents can understand that better than my own handwriting. It's ridiculous. I have to use it for signatures due to the packages I get. I mean, fair enough. Like, you can derive your you can derive your hand what is it? You can derive your signature from cursive, and I think that's like the only that's literally like the only like practical application for cursive. The rest of the instances, if you had to write in an application or just write down notes for yourself, it'd be far easier and better to write in block letters. That's just because that's the first thing you learn whenever you learn English. It's far easier to just stick to familiarity when it's practical compared to if you want to... Oh my god, what the hell? Far easier compared to like trying to learn and understand and comprehend a new handwriting. Right, so that's in. Ah, so this pink part clips into this white part, and that creates another layer of armor movement. Ah, that's neat. That's very neat. Jazzy hands. I have no arms, but I must jazz hands. Yep. Get different thickness of pencil leads so they don't break as often. I have to use 0.9mm as I write heavy. I use 0.5 usually. 0.5 or 0.7. One or the other. Put the draft link in stream for your viewing pleasure. Let me know what you think later. Okay. Don't worry about my past messages. Purple? Vietnam was a purple. Purple pen! Purple pens are for artists! Damn, your schooling sounds like hell. I need for me. I need time to think. Yeah, it makes an extremely obscure reference to Rats of Doom. That what are you talking about, Angelos? They were gonna test me. They put him on timer, and I self-destruct. Is this kid getting a review when it's done? Yeah, it is getting a review. And I don't think I'm gonna be touching this kid up either, just because I feel like I want to preserve the cartoony aesthetics of this thing basically being an extreme Gundam. But yeah, school was hell for me. Ah, nice. Nah, I'm not gonna bend it until I'm complete. Hey, first time here. Hey, Mecha Gundam Va. Welcome in. Question, what happened to your old Gaia Gundam? I am gonna be stripping it for parts. Because, I don't know if you guys know this, but I've had... Sorry, I'm moisturizing. I've had, the Naya Gundam conversion parts. I've had them for quite a while, and I put them in a box for later use, which I haven't done so yet. Because, again, I was playing catch-up with the catalog, so I wasn't able to do any of my own projects, which is unfortunate. So it was just sat there waiting to be prepared. I have prepared the Naya Astray, but I haven't gotten around to painting it yet because, again, catch up. So hopefully this year will be the year where I actually finish off some of those resin kit conversions, because I really want to do so. I really wanted to get to showing you guys some of the more obscure stuff from, let's say, Build Fighters or something. Because especially now that I have the whole sets of Build Fighters Amazing mangas, so I have the full sets of Amazing and Amazing Ready. I also have the full sets of Build Divers Break, which is essentially just 2 books, and of course I also have Build Diver Rise. So I have all of them, and now I can satisfy like my build series obsession, that I have all, like, basically all of the background knowledge about it. And also have Build Fighters Amazing Try, which is basically some, essentially you could consider it a battle log of sorts for the Amazing series. And since the Naya Gundam is from the original Build Fighters Amazing, I really want to get to that. I genuinely really want to get to that. But also, I do have a second high-grade Gaia Gundam that I want to review, just as an excuse to redo that video. Apparently it's a Vietnam thing. Right. There was no way to know the back wouldn't be graded. She just assumes that nobody writes on the back and uses extra pieces of paper. That's a waste. That's a bloody waste. Like, if you run out of space, use the back of the paper. Why not? It's free space in there. Yeah, so just hearing about you guys' school like experiences was just weird, very weird. Alright, I just discovered the alert settings. Okay, alert box. So, let's see. I'm gonna give it a test. If I can, anyway. Kevin isn't real. So the alerts do work. Maybe it's because I don't have Streamlabs open? I don't know. I have no idea. I want more combining high grades like the Re-Rise. Yeah, maybe General Fortress would be up your alley. It's combining SD, but it's a combiner, so... What are these gates? Oh, there goes my light. There's fucking cables everywhere. Ugh. This gate isn't in the best of spots. But then again, they expect you to probably trim it with a knife. There we go. Build Fighters Try is best build series. Sekai is wait. You don't seriously think that? I know you guys may not have read Build Fighters Amazing, but Build Fighters Amazing is exactly as its name says, amazing. Like, it's ridiculous. If you like, it's basically like Build Fighter's Amazing. It's a prologue series that goes back to, that starts with Tatsuya's childhood, when he was like 7 or something. So when he and Toru were the best of friends, but then they were separated because of familial circumstances. And because Tatsuya's father was very strict on him, he wasn't allowed to play gunpla battle anymore. But then when he grew up, he went to England. Yeah, I know, what a bad decision. He went to the UK to study, and then he found that his maid put up his new Gundam Vrei Plus for display, and that's where he met Iori Takeshi, so Iori-sei's father. And then going from there, he was enrolled into the Gunpla Academy, and then he had to suffer from the treatments of the second Meijin. And it was because of that he was motivated to become the third. As weird as the fact, my primary school's final year, the 5th, ends with 2 people smuggling vapes in the bath. Oh my god. I don't want to even get started on that sort of topic. Tatsuya's stats sound really shitty. Yeah, basically. I look forward to a modern Gaia Gundam review. Love that kid, but oldie but a good Abyss and Savior 2. It's an oldie but a goodie. I don't know if I want to review all of the druggies from Seed Destiny, but we'll see. Apparently my door isn't shut properly. Oh well, it is. Just don't know why it's making those slamming sounds. That's a lot of armor to put on. Bill Fighters is peak, so fair enough. Yep. Say what's your favorite between the ZA second stage. Chaos, Gaia, Abyss, Savior, and Impulse. Yeah, mine is Impulse. Mine is definitely Impulse. I mean, it's Vietnam. Of course, the school is hell. There's a reason they call it Vietnam flashbacks instead of other countries' flashbacks. I'm slowly building a 2.0 real grade Grams. The core fighter looks cool with how small they are. I mean, to be fair, I think the core fighter is the least impressive thing of the 2.0 Granddaddy. Mostly because of how similar it is compared to the original one. Granted, they did put in an app crunch in the core fighter, but on the surface, it just looks identical. You wouldn't be able to tell which is which unless you really know. Like, you really know the kit. So, S7, S5. I don't read manga, only anime, and Tatsuya Meiji annoys me with naming every character amazing. He spams more than Char spams red. And precisely why you should read Build Fighters Amazing. Just because it's kind of like a... I don't want to say that word. But it's kind of like it's a homonym of Amazing. So that's why he started naming things amazing. It started when he... No, I know the first thing to use it was the amazing rev units, you know, like the bird shields. And it was because of that guided naming convention that he decided that he had like the push to go through with becoming the Meijin that he wants to be. So when they were doing the tryouts, he pulled out the well, I don't remember much because it was in Chinese. I gotta read Amazing again because I need to read it for the research. But he pulled out the Zaku Amazing to face off against the second Meijin's Cathedral Gundam, piloted by the man himself. Honestly, that's why I really like Build Fighters Amazing. It's like, sure, it's a Tatsuya Yuki backstory, but it's still a pretty fun manga to get into. And because there was like the whole presence of the second Meijin, which was alluded to in the anime to be brutal and ruthless, that you really just feel like there's some stakes going on here, because it's like fighting against an oppressive government in a sense, but gunpla. So even though it's like a whimsical story about gunpla battles, you can still pretty much feel that there is some sort of stakes going on there. And that's kind of like what the what a lot of the newer build material lacked until Re-Rise. There were no stakes. Sure, there were stakes in Metaverse, but who cares about that? You need the stakes to matter, like emotionally, in order for them to work at all. Because when you don't care about the stakes, you don't care about the story. If you don't care about the story, then what's there to even enjoy about it? You know what I mean? So it's like so that's like the reason why I have such appreciation for Build Fighters, is that you can turn such a whimsical premise into something that you can genuinely care about with all of your heart. That's the magic of Build Fighters. Did MJ cry yet? No, I haven't. Hey Jury! You Metaverse, yeah. I haven't cried yet. Well, it's mostly just my lips being absolutely horrendous to me, because they're dry. I've been trying to moisturize, but I have to be delicate about it. And to be honest, like, in terms of crying, I don't know why, but I couldn't really cry myself. I don't know if it's because I've done the whole Zayhard Gallet thing of throwing away my human emotions, but some part of me just feels like I'm like robotic in a way. But no, Jury, I spent the first 15-20 minutes talking about my story and thanking chat for helping get my channel back. And to be honest, given how long it's taken, like 2 days, I'm surprised that I was able to get my channel back this quickly. Because I've seen from like videos of research that people can get this issue resolved between like 8 hours to, I don't know, half a year. Some even lost their channels permanently. So I'm still glad that I was able to get my channel back. Wait a minute, the burnt out full. Hey, there's the alert. There's the alert. The burnt out full. Thank you for the $100 donation. Oh my god. Hope you're doing well. Glad your channel is still alive. Hope you get better soon. Remember, you have a community that cares about you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, Jury, is that a cat in a box? Is that a cat in a box? No streaks on broccoli. Yeah. Man, I got home just now. Hey, Akmaneth. Welcome in. Yeah, you're pretty lucky. Super! Yep. Thank you for the $100 super chat, Burnt Out Full. I guess YouTube did their job. Honestly, I don't know how much an effect you guys had on it, but honestly, I think if it weren't for you guys, that, well, YouTube probably won't respond. Because I don't know if they have like a policy on Twitter or if it's just automated responses, but I was kind of angry that they've responded to my chat with one of the most formulaic things possible when it's an actual crisis. And they took about, I don't know, 10 hours to get back to me with the direct message option. But yeah, ultimately it got solved, and I'm glad that people caused a fuss about it, so that we were able to get back into the action. Of course, I need to make up my subscriber count. We're still about 40 away from making up the damage. And more than that, actually, more than making up my subscribers, I am still in a little bit of shock. Naturally, I still have my my mouth issues that I need to get fixed, and apparently it takes it takes a couple of weeks for dry skin to be properly moisturized again. So I'll need to be careful with using my mouth too much. I honestly hope that Am would just seal it up so that I don't have to deal with this issue anymore. I'll talk like Stephen Hawking if I have to, but yeah, it's just that, coupled with the hacking, coupled with just general stress, that I found that putting out videos after my work has resumed, like my job, has actually been a little bit tougher than what I anticipated. That will cover MJ's future build. Yeah, future build. Hey, actually, that is actually the crowdfunding for that I need to get the Elysius. So thank you all so much. Thank you. Like that contributes a lot to getting the high grade Elysius. That is granted I was able to get that, honestly, because knowing Hathaway, knowing that it's bloody Hathaway, people are just gonna snatch that up on the spot. But I don't know. The actual, like, Hathaway and the nymph of the sorcerer nymph of Saoirse actually aired in Hong Kong recently. What is not recently? Wait a minute. When is it airing? Because I know my friend has gone to the theaters, and my phone is frozen. I know my friend has gone to the theaters to see some sort of Hathaway movie. And because the confusing thing is that Hong Kong is airing the original Hathaway on they aired the original Hathaway on the 6th of March, because they never had the opportunity to air it during its original run. Yep. My friend saw the original Hathaway in theaters, and because of the whole COVID thing, they decided to just dump it on streaming because they don't want to delay the release any further. I mean, props to them. But I think Hathaway, the sorcerer nymph of was Hathaway 2 essentially. Oh, I got the wrong part. Wait a second. M8. Oh, I got M7. Hey Zeno! Welcome to the memberships! Welcome to the immediate tier. Thank you for the membership. So, and Hong Kong is airing Hathaway 2 on the 12th of March, I think. The 12th of March. So, knowing that, and because of how ridiculously devoted UC fanboys are in Hong Kong, they'll probably snatch up the Elysius. But then again, considering that, I very vividly remember when I was hunting for that that funnel missile twin set. I was wandering around the stores, and the Xi Gundam, the very title Gundam, the titular Gundam of Hathaway, it never got snatched up. For some odd reason, I don't know why, but for some odd reason, I don't remember what the release of the Penelope was like, because that released like far before the Xi Gundam. So, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Because personally, I'm gonna be getting, when I'm gonna be getting the Hathaway stuff, I'm gonna be getting it through a Hong Kong source. Because HLJ, of course, you guys know, even though I'm affiliated with them, I still have criticisms. That HLJ, you cannot get a successful order in unless you put down your order within the first 5 minutes of the links going live. So, and then now that you cannot cancel your pre-orders if you managed to find it from another source, it would make being put on back order that much bigger of a risk, because you're gonna have to pay for your order either way, whether or not it comes in like the next week or 10 decades later. So you're still gonna have to pay for it either way. So in order to save money, I'm gonna be picking up my stuff from a Hong Kong source. If not, I'm gonna be picking up from JP fans. So yeah, I am just gonna be devoted to my alt sources. Hopefully, I'll be able to get the Hathaway high grades coming out in April. But yeah, if you guys support MJ and enjoy what he does, do support Cat in the Box. AdSense is like $2 per 1,000 views. Essentially, yeah. At least it's not 3 years like a YouTuber I knew in the past. Oh, you mean the hacking? Yeah, we threw digital hands. I saw Zucker Aurelius retweeted it, that made me happy. Actually, I put him up to it. Not to say that I put him up to it in a malicious way, but I essentially told him to, hey, there's this going on, may you help retweet it to raise YouTube's awareness? And it's like, okay, sure. So, genuinely, Zucker Aurelius, if you're watching this somehow, then I humbly thank you for your help. And I also have to thank It's a Gundam as well. I know, the guy's controversial, and he's like one of those people who has some similar thoughts to like the Critical Drinker, and you guys may call him a grifter, but I would want to separate his movie critiques from his gunpla endeavors. As a gunpla builder, he's a very good person. Like, he sent the Red Rock I think his very first like airbrush or something. So he did. Oh no, he sent it if not the very first. He sent the Red Rock and airbrush. So that's a green flag in and of itself. And he also like taught me to like do de-chroming, because I was planning to build my Zeta Gundam Hono back in the day. I'm gonna kickstart that project back up once I'm done with the 2025 catalog. So don't you worry, I'm gonna be taking his advice to heart. And basically, in terms of being a gunpla builder and being like a genuinely helpful person, he is one of those guys. So no matter what you guys think of like his movie critiques and whatever, you seriously cannot get me to be completely on your boat in hating him, just because he is a genuinely good person, and he uses his influence, his reach, and his connections to help people to the best he can. And by the way, he's the guy that scratch built a 1/60th scale Shinanju. So that is a testament to how skilled he is as a builder. But genuinely, if It's a Gundam is watching this stream, then seriously, I have to really thank him for using his connections for a good cause. I haven't really noticed the difference. Wait a sec. Would it be better if I got the OG Sea Gundam or the second movie version? It depends, honestly, because if you want a charged shield and the Gundam face, the traditional Gundam face, then go for the movie version. But ultimately, I think if both of them came out, that's the question you'll be asking yourself. But for now, which one is the more accessible one of the two? That's what I think the more important question is at this time. So if the normal Sea Gundam is the more accessible one, then go for that. And if you don't like the face, the traditional Gundam face or the charged shield, then you can just skip the movie version. I am gonna be getting the second movie version, Sea Gundam, just as an excuse for me to redo my review, so that you guys can get a more updated perspective on, like, a more updated review from me of the High Creek Sea Gundam mold, because we all know it's gonna be using like every single thing from the original. And by the way, if you guys have access to any runner pictures, please tell me whether or not the shield is in like a separate runner or ready to be gated away or something like that, because I'm one of those people who don't like the charged shield. So if the original shield isn't prepared to be gated away, then there's a chance that it's gonna be left over on the runners. A fair argument for it's a Gundam, not gonna lie. Yeah. Is there a creator you want to reach out to? Kakarot197. That's for sure. Because, like I said in my community post, I want to delve more into lore content. And honestly, if I have Kakarot197 on the channel to discuss things like, I don't know, Earth Hunt, Iron-Blooded Orphans, or other Gundam lore stuff, then that would make for a very, very good stream. Like, and I've asked Second Soundwave about this, whether or not he wants to be drafted onto one of my streams. I need F2, by the way. I need F2, F15, F16, so give me a sec. Because this runner is absolutely massive. So I'm gonna be cutting stuff from the F runner off cam, just to not crash into my own setup. What is it again? I need F2. Because I pitched the idea of having like a discussion stream about Iron-Blooded Orphans Earth Hunt to Second Soundwave, and he said yes. Well, he said maybe yes. Like, it's an affirmative answer, so I penciled him in for the time being. So if we can manage to get like one of the lore masters of the Gundam franchise in like a lore related stream, then honestly that would be one of the best streams that I've held, no matter the viewership. Because honestly, it would be very fun to have someone knowledgeable about that stuff that isn't controversial on stream. Like I have Wacky Model 84 on my list, and I would have thought of asking him, but then again, people are just gonna pester him about Gundam Seed, and then that probably won't be a good stream to have. Maybe someone from Gundam Space Engineers as well, because they used to be like a quite obscure channel, but now that they're doing like regular lore videos, their viewership just started growing a lot actually. So I may ask Freedom from Gundam Space Engineers to get on stream, because I am in their Discord server. So I don't know, there's a lot of ideas, but in terms of the creator I want to contact the most, Kakarot197 will be one. What's stopping you? I don't know how. That's the thing. I've tried hitching Kakarot up on Instagram. I never got a reply, and I don't think he also he has a business email listed to his channel as well. I've hit him up on Instagram, hit him up on Facebook, no responses whatsoever. And I've asked Zaku how he managed to contact Kakarot, and apparently Kakarot was the one who contacted him first. So it has to be him that shoots the shot before I'm able to reply. So I don't know. It would, like, not unless he has like a sort of live stream thing that I can probably ask him. But I don't know. If anybody knows like a contact method for Kakarot197, please let me know. I haven't seen Kakarot197 on a stream, but he would probably collab on videos with you. Perhaps. Damn, ghosted. Yeah. Then again, it's probably like one of those instances where you don't check your social media often. Because honestly, the guy who asked me whether or not, like, why I don't post on Instagram that often anymore, that's probably the exact thing that Kakarot is doing. But then again, Kakarot doing a lore video these days is, I don't know, for some reason he puts himself in reporting the most random sort of Gundam adjacent news that the lore videos just kind of slowed down. At least on my feed anyway. I haven't visited his channel page to confirm or whatever, but the most recent lore type thing that he did was for that 1/200 scale kind of Gashapon kits or something like that. Just a bit of gunpla history from the guy. Put a beacon up like Batman. Yeah, you think that will work? MJ, you might have to comment one of his videos as a question of the week. Perhaps. Perhaps. But still, the whole stream for discussing Orth Hunt is a far off one. Just because, like I said, I want to complete 2025. I want to get the top 10 kits of 2025 out before I start doing any of my personal projects. And on top of that, I need to juggle doing that and work. What's the difference between four? Oh, okay. So they're doing this again. So in the past, when you have like an identical part for Gunpla, they would literally just list it. Oh, if they would list like 14, 15, 16, 17, let's say, and then they will say, because they function identically but they're numbered differently, and they will say that you can use the 14 and bracket 17 or something like that. So they're doing that with the stickers. I was thinking, oh, what's the difference between sticker 4 and sticker 7? Nothing. It's kind of rare these days because Bandai usually just double prints a runner if they have like an identical part. Well, it's not that the sticker fitment is good anyway. Look at this. You have like a margin that doesn't fit all that well. Just a big K in the sky followed by a message. He seems super earnest as one of the newer Gunpla creators. Not necessarily new, honestly, because he does reviews like 12 years ago. Like, he's one of the only people I know who has like the full series of the old 1 to 1/44th scale Victory Gundam kits, and he also has the original Gundam Seed high grades. So not the remasters, the originals that came out in the early 2000s. So that's kind of like where I consulted my. Wait a minute. Okay, the clear part holds the pink frame in. I see. So he was like one of the only people that I know to consult in terms of videos. So he's been around for a long time. He's been around for quite a long time. But yeah, maybe popping a comment on one of his question of the week videos would do me good. But that is when I am ready to execute the idea, because I have 24 episodes worth of anime to go through. Let's just consider an anime an RPG maker, just because that's essentially what the dialogue in Orth Hunt boils down to. So I have 24 episodes of that to go through. I need to translate them myself, because unfortunately the guy who translated the episodes originally took all of the videos down with the channel. Wait a minute, P14. Am I using the correct piece? I should be. Okay, so strategy. Put the clear piece in so that I have a peg, so I don't have to line everything up. Sounds like you're making the Gunpla Avengers. Really? I think someone I'm interested in reaching out to is Joe's Gunpla Garage. Yep, I have Joe's contact. You can basically just DM him on Instagram and he'll reply. By the way, Joe was one of the people who reached out to me saying that my channel was hacked, and I kept him updated, and he was actually like relieved. He was actually one of the people who deeply cares about my content, even though he is now well long surpassed me in subscriber count just because of his well, some people think his content is good. I have no opinions on the matter because I haven't checked up on him in a while, but he surpassed me mostly thanks to the PGU new. But even though he surpassed me, he still cares about. Oh, there we go. Wait a minute. Wasn't that number 7 I cut out? That's number 7. Wait. What? Is that why? Wait, what? Wait. Am I getting things confused or something? Because this worked. I must have gotten something confused. Water under the bridge. It's fine. But yeah, I'm glad he cares. Joe's oldest video is 2. It is 2 years. Yeah. Joe is like... Oh. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Jury. I thought you were talking about Kakara197 being earnest. Oh, my bad. But yeah, Joe is pretty earnest in his work. And yeah, Kakarot is another one I want to reach out to. I got me a new blanket. I slept like a beast. Why didn't you say you slept like a baby? That's the expression. Only 15 and 17. And then we'll have to go through all of this again. Can I try out for Gunpla Avengers? Reiji, are you a Gunpla YouTuber? Glad to see your channel's back, but hey, Speedball, nice. Do you think they secretly about to release a new anime in film the months that currently have no retail Gunpla? I don't think so, honestly, because they have stuff that spanned up until September at this point, with the Master Grade SD Kshatriya, and I don't think they're gonna drop any more Gunpla to fill in what already is planned out, because in March, like this month, we have no Gunpla whatsoever, like retail anyway, because I know we are getting the Strike Freedom Type 2 and the Hazel Custom Icarus unit in high grade in P Bandai, which I'm going to be reviewing, by the way. I am going to be... Actually, let me tell you guys my plans. Like, besides the Orth Hunt story video, and just basically finishing off the catalog for 2025, I am gonna try out doing like short reviews, like actual, you know, like those shorts, YouTube shorts. So I'm gonna be trying out that, and I've been looking at a Warframe creator that I've been following for a little bit already, called Xenos Fire, and I am gonna be taking some pages out of the shorts that guy does and implementing it into like a more short form video. So for kits that I build for quote unquote my own enjoyment, or for some kits that have basically no change besides either their colors or just a minor addition of a feature or two, I'm gonna be doing shorts for those videos, because apparently, like, to check my my shorts tab, oh yeah, I don't need that Avalanche XTF video anymore. I was taking references for my... No, not piss off, vidIQ. Piss off! I was taking references for my Avalanche XTF video because I'm gonna finish it today. By the way, that doesn't mean it's gonna be posted. But taking a look at my shorts tab, my Legend Gundam stream highlight got 11,000 views. Meanwhile, my proper review got only 7,500 views. So I'm thinking, yeah, maybe doing more shorts would actually be more beneficial. So I'm gonna take the kits that maybe some weapon sets, or just the kits that has minor variants compared to the original one. I'm probably gonna be doing shorts for that, for those types of kits. And yeah, put out some more content that I don't need to spend too much time on. So I'm probably going to start doing that with my Sword Impulse Spec 2, real grade Sword Impulse Spec 2. Because that kit is literally just a color change and an additional railgun. I'm gonna start doing that with either that or the high grade. Oh, crap. Okay, then I guess we're building the feet before going back to the other leg then. I completely blanked on how I need to build both legs at the same time. That would have saved me a lot of time, but to be fair, I'm still in shock, so taking it easy is probably the wiser approach. But anyways, I'm going to be reviewing the G-Quax Endymion unit with a short. So yes, I'm going to be putting in all the typical work I put into it, because it honestly irks me that the high grade G-Quax Endymion units doesn't have the two-tone. Wait a minute. So, oh, top and bottom. Okay. So I'm going to be putting in all the typical work that I put into a kit, but I'm going to be doing short form content for them. Not because I want to rot you guys' brains, like, welcome back, my skibbity sigmas! Fucking Kane, mate. But I'm just going to be doing short form content to get them out of the way quick. So like I said, weapon sets, kits with minor variants, that kind of stuff. MJ's pissed off is funny to me. Funny thing is, I have commissioned different expressions. So you know, like how I can toggle between different states of my avatar. I have commissioned. Shut up! I have commissioned different expressions for my avatar, for the stream avatar. Do I have my glasses on? I have my glasses on. Says the person wearing glasses. I'm very knowledgeable about Gundam, Mecha, Plamo, etc. Well, at the moment, I'm currently just looking for gunpla YouTubers. So maybe Jury, if you want to pop on one of my streams on my end, my door is open. Maybe yeah. You guys are YouTubers Citrus. They also do gunplas. They're cool. If I can reach out to them, I will probably do it. So yeah, I'll consider that. And well, although I have thought of like reaching out to Zaku again, but still time zones are a bit of an issue, because like from my stream with Jury, like, or should I just change the subject matter, because I was on her stream. It was still a bit of a pain to organize because we are like 5 hours apart. So even if I try and collaborate with someone on the west coast, not west coast, the east coast of the United States, it would still be a bit of a ball ache, because last time we started the stream like 1 hour early compared to our usual time, and it was 10:30 for me. So it's still a bit of a delicate balance if I want to collaborate with someone from America. Why are you saying piss off to who? My phone. Well, what's going on there? I can try reaching out. Nice. I also have no issue. I have a few game shows and challenges for Gunpla tubers. Sure. I mean, the only ideas I have at the moment are just more formal stuff, like lore discussions and whatnot, like doing a podcast. Also, the Alkaid pink reminded me of Braver and Deadass. Are you in my server, Yovi? Shorts, you have to find a system to be able to turn them over fast. So take your time in finding that rhythm and style. Yeah, and considering that YouTube Shorts can be 3 minutes long now, I forgot how long ago that update was, but you can do YouTube Shorts that are 3 minutes long. So I really don't have to like stress too much about doing keeping everything in 1 minute. So hopefully that would relieve some of the stress that I've had from doing shorts from before. Like I've done shorts before where I recap on like Gunpla news. Wait a second. Okay, so the peg has to be facing outwards. Okay. Extroverted introvert will carry you. Yovi is light on the server. Ah, I see. Extroverted introvert will carry you. Oh. Why did I cut out 5? I only needed 4. But thank you, Jury. At this point, he's yelling F off at someone. Yeah, you think? It's just my phone being absolutely annoying. That's the problem. Honestly, I really should be better about like having my phone on silence before I go on the stream. Just want to say congrats on restoring your channel. Sorry to hear about that hardship. Yeah, thank you for the congrats, but that flew off. But at this point, it's water under the bridge. So long as I can make up the subscriber damage and get back on my usual routine, then that'll be fine. That'll be fine enough for me. The mood change is drastic, to say the least. Yeah, basically. Because I had to keep like a facade up for these streams. Wait a minute, where? Oh, F. I need more F pieces again, sake. But yeah, then again, I haven't been having the best days for obvious reasons, and I've been trying to tank through the pain that my I've been trying to tank through the pain that my mouth is giving me. So yeah. All I'm doing is trying to manage, and that's about all I can do at this point. Brother, got to have an intent to kill those crypto bros. Yeah, essentially, yeah. And you know what? There was this thing today, where today I finally finished with restoring my channel stuff to normal. And by the way, because of the hack, I am out of moderators. They've removed all of my moderators and put them in. I've sorted that out for the most part, but I need to appoint new moderators because the people in the past who were moderators for my stream and my content in general, they're gone. So I need to appoint someone. So if you're interested, let me know on Discord. But anyways, for today's story, I was just hovering around my channel, just saying, oh, one last video, then I'll get to working on the Avalanche Exia. Then all of a sudden, my vidIQ plugin stopped working because it was showing like 0 views and 0 things, and the subscriber count is gone as well. And I thought, oh no, is it happening again? Do I have some residual things that are going on? And then I went to check my channel page, like my Creator Studio page, and it was struggling to load in the subscriber counts and my latest video stats. And I was kind of panicking at the moment because I thought the situation should have been done with, and the support guy actually closed the case because they confirmed that I was able to clean my channel up. And I was freaking out at the time, so I hopped onto my second channel, which I haven't been using for ages at this point, and those stats didn't show up either. So I was like, is YouTube going through an outage right now? So I was asking everybody that I know who are YouTubers on Discord. So I was asking Jury, I was asking somebody else whether or not their stats were loading. And so they confirmed to me, they're like, nah, there weren't any issues. And at that time, I also confirmed on my end that there wasn't any issues on my phone. Even though the YouTube Creator Studio on PC was still a little bit borked. So I thought maybe it was a server side issue, because I also checked Down Detector, and there was like a spike of reports on like for YouTube at like 3 p.m. or something like that. So I just thought maybe it's really just a server side issue, so I'm just gonna go to bed, sleep, have a nap, refresh my mind before getting back at it. And so in the end, it was really just a server side issue, which I was extremely relieved about, because I really couldn't take another technical issue happening to my YouTube channel. Because like I said, I'm still in shock. You'll get better. Story. Yay, I'm subbed to your second channel. Woo. Second channel? Yes, I do have a second channel. But it was ages and ages and ages ago. Like, in the past, I was, in the past, I did gaming videos on this very channel. But that was a long time ago, like back when I was in like secondary 3, when I learned, like, when I didn't know any better. And so ultimately I decided that maybe my gaming videos would get a little bit more traction if it were put on a second channel. So I established a second channel and transferred a lot of my RPG Maker videos there, like the games that I played on RPG Maker. So you know the trinity of Japanese horror RPG Maker games, like Eve, Mad Father, and The Witch's House. I played all of them. They used to be on this channel, but I've deleted them and transferred them all over to my second channel. I also did like an RPG horror mega mix, where I spent literally like days and days after school putting subtitles, putting funny edits in. Like, you know those Markiplier like horror game compilations? That's basically the idea that I went for. And because I was crap at editing, I didn't manage to do even half of what they managed to do. Because Markiplier back in the day, he had his compilation videos edited by Syndigo, didn't he? But that's besides the point. But yeah, that's where my gaming stuff went. And ever since I stopped recording like Doki Doki Literature Club, I basically abandoned that channel because it just didn't feel like it was worth the time and effort. So I don't know, that channel has been put on hold for like the past 8 or 9 years, and I haven't really thought about doing anything with it at the moment. So it's just been sat there gathering dust. I need F10 and F9. So maybe if I want to do more like, I don't know, proper PNG tubing, or maybe even transition to actual proper VTubing, maybe I'll revive that channel in like a form, like in that form. Maybe I'll do some stuff there, and maybe you guys can pop over. But that's not in my that's really not in the plans at the moment, because I really want to focus on more creative endeavors on the gunpla side of my stuff. So to consider doing stuff on my second channel will be a bit far-fetched at the moment. Glad to have you back, brother. Yeah, nice to be back, George. Thank you for popping in. Thank you, Shadow Moon, as well, for the heartful comment. It's good to see you back on the channel again. Those damn Bitcoin shitbags. Yeah, glad to be back. Excuse me. I'm gonna go for house chore. Go ahead, Sirenus. I can imagine the Federation makes a pink rider and equips it with most overpowered stuff during the 1 year war. Honestly, I hope they don't. The 1 year war is already bloated enough already. I don't know how much more stuff they can fit into a 1 year war. Like, have they even done much more 1 year war stuff after Requiem for Vengeance? Like, I know they've done the third MS team and all, but that's kind of like Gundam versus kind of like a cult or something like that. And I've heard about the first chapter of that manga series, and it was an absolute pipe dream. Not a pipe dream, an absolute fever dream. Because for something that, like, Tomino came up with, like, you know, the whole gritty thing about, oh, war is bad and whatnot, you wouldn't, the last thing you would expect is for a cult to appear. So, I don't know, the more they try to expand on the 1 year war, the more they start to distort it, in my opinion. Like, I mean, Code Fairy was already stretching it, doing, like, apparently they have this whole squad of all-female soldiers. Not that I'm saying that that's the point that stretched it, but it's like, how have we not known about them before? So, I don't know. Genuinely, like, how much more 1 year war could they write for the 1 year war? And to be completely honest, they should just either make an alternate version like the different G-Quacks, or just completely leave it alone altogether. So the second channel is basically an old gaming channel. Yeah. I now have 2 blankets. I'm gonna build a nest. What? Hey Kinger, are you gonna build a pillow fortress later on? So that you can, I don't know, be alone with your thoughts in the dark? Are you thinking about Queenie? Thinking about your wife? I'm throwing out all of these digital circus references, assuming that you guys get it, when probably you guys don't. Yeah, I'm too obsessed with the digital circus at this very moment. What is wife? So you're not Kinger then. Okay. Yeah, burnt out fool. You're correct. Bitcoin bros got me shell-shocked. Unfortunately, I'm a fox. I'm not a turtle, so I don't have a shell to retreat back into. But yeah, that's basically all the stories that I've had. And I don't know, like, what further plans I have, because planning further at this point, when I already have so much in my mind that I want to go, that I want to do, just, well, it will fluster me for one. And it will make my plans a little bit messy. And especially since I've been stuck on the Avlanjexia for the past couple of weeks, that I don't know. I just feel a little bit frustrated because, to be honest, I really want to start executing on what I have planned for the channel instead of just playing catch up again. Like, you know that whole, like, feeling when you have, like, a bunch of outstanding tasks to do and you want to get them done, you want to get them done quick, but you're just there's just more and more that piles up, and you just keep on having to catch up with the list of stuff that you need to do, and it's like, it's so freaking tiring. And when those take up most of your free time, instead of you having, like, your stuff that you want to do, like this, it just feels I don't know, just feels more like an obligation than anything. That's probably why the people say don't turn your hobby into a job, because this is essentially my second job and I'm earning like £100 every single month for it. But yeah, I don't know, I'm just fidgeting with my exterior repair, which is a pretty decent build, by the way. Like, you know, like the whole thing about the Exia being infamous for having small parts, this does too, but this is far better than the Avalanche Exia or the Exia proper. Mostly because it doesn't have the shoulder cables. And honestly, I've also built the Estrella, which you guys have seen on the Pluton Black video. I've also built the real grade Estrella, and that is also far better than the original Exia is. Anything that doesn't use the shoulder cables, any real grade Exia variants that doesn't use the shoulder cables, is automatically far superior compared to the original real grade Exia. Changed my mind. Wait, isn't the South Seas Alliance a cult after 1 year war? Wait, is it a Thunderbolts exclusive? I have never heard of that name. Yeah, it's probably yeah, George clarified it. It's Thunderbolt exclusive. Yosin? Wait, did I miss Yosin? Has he popped in? Ah, welcome in. I still think Bandai should make a whole series based around amphibious suits and very limited solid land masses with the planet. So you basically want them to make Gundam Subnautica. We can probably make a D&D campaign out of that. P17, 17. I took a break from my channel and just enjoyed building and painting. That's probably what I should have done. And honestly, that's what I am gonna do. Because after I'm done with the catalog and the 2025 video, I am gonna be starting to do one of like the longer projects that I have in mind. So like I said, the Nyaya Gundam, actually painting up the Nyaya Astray, and doing more build fighter stuff that I'm actually passionate about, and most absolutely getting my 1/144th scale Nether Gundam done. I've had that since last May, and I haven't done anything with it. I haven't even cut out the parts or done the unboxing segment. I haven't done anything with the Nether Gundam, and I honestly feel bad for it, just because I know the friend that acquired that Nether Gundam for me. Well, for me as in on my behalf, because I still had to pay him back for it. I know the friend who got it for me is anticipating a review for that, and he also sent a lot of tips that the official manufacturer sent out. So it's like cutting out the 3D print supports like one by one, don't twist them off, and they also supplied a lot of like the wiring tips, and that sort of stuff. And that's the one thing I'm most anxious about the Nether Gundam, is that they've designed a base that houses a motor, and they've also put in like accessories from like a random plastic model fan or something like that. And I've had to ask my dad whether or not he's knowledgeable in doing wiring like that, and I told him that it's so that I can put in the electronics to make the windmill blade spin. And he has told me that whenever I get there, I'll ask him again. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask my dad to help me, like, based on the instructions that my friend sends me, hopefully get the base for the Nether Gundam set up. And because in the instructions, they're pretty I don't remember, but they're pretty straightforward about the wiring. But they've also implemented a different feature where you can change the fan speeds, but you'll have to do an alternate like wiring route for that. So it's like, I don't want to mess this up because I've never been good about wiring. I've never been good about wiring, so I might as well just ask for help, and I haven't gotten back to my dad ever since about that matter. So that's the one thing I want to do. Like, before Bandai announces the next High Grade Future Century kits, just knowing that they may potentially put out a high grade Nether Gundam while I'm working on the resin kit. So, dunno. Gundam Waterworld. Wait, Water Womb World, Takoyoshi? Are you talking about that game made by Yames? Or are you talking about Iron Lung? By the way, have I talked to you guys about having seen the Iron Lung movie? I don't think I have. Because I think that was the week where I decided that I'm tired. I should probably focus on myself. I'll stream whenever I can, like whenever I want to. So it's like I've gone dark ever since in terms of streaming. No, Waterworld, the movie by Ken Costner. I haven't seen that. But I've seen the Iron Lung movie like 2 Thursdays ago, and honestly, it was a good movie. Genuinely good. Although I did go into the movie a little bit confused, just because I only know so much about the game. I didn't know about the lore behind Iron Lung. About, like, I only know that a fish kills you at the end, and you get sent down into the depths of the blood ocean, and that's basically about it. I didn't recall anything about the Quiet Rapture, or the or Filament Station, or Eden, or basically anything that's got to do with the background of the game, like the lore behind Iron Lung. So I went into it a little bit confused, and especially because they took their own liberties with the movie. So I was waiting to see that gigantic eyeball pop up. I was waiting to see the fish, but nah, that never happened. But what we got from the movie was pretty good, honestly. And considering that it's all self-funded by Markiplier, I can see why people praise the movie. Like, and it's not just because of the pre-existing audience that Markiplier has cultivated, but it's more. But the movie itself has merit, and that's honestly like great. Was Mark just? Oh wait! Where's the heel? Come on! Just went to the heel went into my sleeve. Was Mark good at acting, or was he just being Markiplier? At parts he was just being Markiplier, especially when he acted violent on camera. But the whole movie was basically made to unsettle you, and that's what I think made it work. The movie basically takes place inside the Iron Lung, and because of how claustrophobic it is, you basically only see what Markiplier was able to see, and only know so much. Of course, the confusion is like my fault, and honestly, that overtook my experience. So I am genuinely waiting for the digital release just to have another crack at it, knowing the lore behind Iron Lung. Oh, there we go. That's a bit of a violent pop. So here is one of the legs completed. Because it has so many like mechanisms inside that one knee joint, it does take a little bit of greasing up to be able to get it to move properly. So now we can attach this one on and go back to the other leg. I've tasted full VTubing. I've tasted gunpla videos. I recommend being a video consumer. Code Fairy. What do you mean video consumer? Niesent. What do you mean? Which one would you recommend more between the high grade Akatsuki or real grade Akatsuki? Okay. This is a can of worms that I really don't want to open until I make the Are We Spoiled About Gunpla video. But the thing to consider for the real grade, for the Akatsuki 1/144 scale is whether or not you care about the features more, you care about solidity more, or do you care about the aesthetics more? Because like I said in my real grade Akatsuki video, that kit looks awesome. I don't care what you think about the gold chrome. The molding on that kit is fantastic. So if you want a 1/144 scale Akatsuki that has the looks down and is dolled up to the nines, then get the real grade. Because if you're going to be staring at that thing anyway, it doesn't matter if the legs are going to fall apart when you're trying to move it. But if you care about solidity more, and you don't much care about the looks, you just want to have one that you're going to be able to pick up and pose with, then get the high grade. The high grade looks objectively worse, there's no denying that. And because I have the build Akatsuki, I know what it looks like without the chrome plating. And by the way, you can check out my build Akatsuki video in my channel. That is a thing, by the way, and a white Akatsuki with a build booster attached to its back. So you can check that out and see what it looks like without the gold chrome. It looks objectively worse, but it's more solid. So it depends on what you're looking for. That's why you need a second. Oh my god, I'm so behind on DVR. That's why you need a second channel. Okay. What do you mean? A second channel for VTubing? Marker player is good, yeah. I like Gundam marker. Marker fires be lit. Yeah, that knee even reminds me of the Massacre Sword Impulse's knee. Really? Gundam Subnautica, lol. Yep. Just finished the PG Monument EX. That thing is massive and doesn't fit on any of my shelves. Well, was that a bit of an impulse purchase or something? Let me see what that actually is. Wait, is that a Tall Geese Flugel with the Tall Geese 3's cannon? So that's essentially the Tall Geese 3 with the Wing Zero wings. Oh my god, you're in for it, mate. I mean, I know you said you don't have any space for it, but good luck finding it. Right, so where were we? Okay, so we are here. Right. Let's get cracking, shall we? I'm obsessed with gold chrome kits and I have a Delta Gundam in my hands. Yeah, the Delta Gundam is decent, honestly. Very decent. Have you considered dual streaming to vertical? No, I haven't. But it will make stream like short stream highlights easier. But this stream is more impromptu than anything, so I haven't really planned anything for this one. But like I said, the same way I can toggle between glasses and my animal features, I have commissioned more expressions for my stream avatar. So I will have to set up some Viado files to be able to swap between the two. But whenever my big stream expansion comes, I'll have a think about it. I'll have a think about making like vertical streams and basically doing YouTube multi-streams, so that maybe making stream highlights whenever they do pop up easier. I'm thinking I should basically just clean out this massive runner. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just clean out the runner so that I don't have to bother with that massive frame again. So give me a second. And I'll put the current ones that are in use in the frame. Sorry. Let me see. My local shop has all 1 to 144 scaled version of Akatsuki, that's why I ask. I mean, like I said, it depends on what you value. If you value looks more than playability, go for the real grade. But that's another thing. The real grade Akatsuki only has the Owashi pack, because you'll have to get the Shiranui pack separately. And that also comes with the baggage of the Zeus silhouette connectors. So if you just want the Owashi Akatsuki, go for the real grade if you just want the looks. But if you care about play features and all that kind of stuff, go for the high grade. It looks worse, but it's worth it, to be honest. Right, so that's the F runner dealt with. Whew. Let's get building. You're gonna play with, or you're gonna look at the situation with the gold boys. I can't spell that. What do you mean? It's on my desk, fully built, staring at me. So glad to see your account back, MJ. I'm glad to be back, Akop. That's a fairly big Master Grade kit. Which kit is this? This is not a Master Grade kit. If you guys don't know, this is a China plot kit. This is the Alkaid Pink 2, which is an interpretation on the Extreme Gundam Explosion. Again, I don't know if I still have that image, so being the streamer that I am, ill prepared by that, I'm gonna look at the image, put it in my stream resources. And show it to you guys. So this kit, this design right here, is the Extreme Gundam Explosion. It's from Extreme Gundam. No, yeah, it's from Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme. Mobile Suit Gundam. Wait a minute. It's from Mobile Suit Extreme Gundam, the manga, but it was first introduced in Extreme versus Cross Boost, I think. This was extreme. This was introduced with the Extreme Gundam Xanadu, but then like a couple of months later they introduced it with the Extreme Gundam Vicious and Extreme Gundam Supremacy. And honestly, I cannot believe it's been so long since they've been introduced, and yet Bandai still refuses to make a model kit out of them. Granted, their glowing bits can be a little bit like intimidating, but then again, they can just all substitute that with stickers and panel lining. And given like how they managed to tackle like stuff like the G-Quux or the high grade legend, the new Legend Gundam, I have no doubt in my mind that they can manage to probably pull off most, if not all, of the glowing bits in plastic. So it just beats me as to why they're not giving the Extreme Gundam more publicity. I will buy my first actual perfect grade this year, but I can't decide between the Zaku 2 and the Mark 2. The Mark 2. The naming is a bit extreme, don't you think? No, because it is the next stream. It is N-Extreme. Yeah, that's a pun that they're trying to play. That's a pun that they're trying to pull out and saying that, oh, this is the next step after the Extreme Gundam. So, in fact, their naming scheme with the Extreme Gundam. So you see the Explosion, the Xanadu, the Vicious, and the Supremacy spells out EXVS. Just in case you guys don't know, I'm pretty sure that when all four of them were announced, people immediately caught on to the fact that their backpacks actually displays their initial. So that's why the Extreme Gundam's backpack, let me show you guys again, is shaped like an E for Explosion. Same thing would go for the other variants. So the Xanadu has a backpack that's shaped like an X. The Vicious has one that's shaped like a V. The Supremacy has like two sets of beam scimitars that can expand into an S. So basically they're like the new faces of the Extreme Versus series. And that's basically what Mobile Suit Gundam, Mobile Suit and Extreme Gundam actually is. It's basically an isekai where Amaki Sai and Ebihara Chikage, those two were playing Extreme Versus 2 in their universe, in their arcades. But then an operator, I forgot her name, it was this pink haired girl, I think, that dragged them into the machine and told them to pilot the Extreme Gundam Explosion and Xanadu to prevent the Galvaria, which is maybe Extreme Gundam Unit 1, to stop the Galvaria from altering history. It's basically an isekai. Wait, where's the Sea Runner? Ah, right there. Big E. Yep. PG Unleashed is great, but I wanted to start with old school kit build. I honestly respect. Full respect. If you haven't if you build the new stuff first, I find it's harder to appreciate the old stuff. And probably that's why we're getting a bit spoiled about Gunpla in recent years. Mostly because we may have already expected the new stuff to keep the old stuff to keep up with the new stuff, and I think that's not the right way to go about things. And I'm not gonna name any names, although you guys will know who I'm talking about. That's the main attitude. That's the issue. That's why I kind of want to review more older kits, just so they get the respect that they deserve. Big E. You're gonna play with, or you're gonna look in this? I can't. Oh my god. I still enjoy some old kits from time to time. Yeah, so do I, to be honest. Oh, by the way, have you guys seen Juri's last stream? Where she showed off the... Oh my god. Wait, is this the wrong piece? Is that why it's not fitting? Yep, this is number 5, and I got out number 4. Well, I need it eventually, so no harm, no foul. Have you seen that? Have you seen the voice acting that I've done from Juri's stream? Why do mechs always tend to have edgelord names? Sometimes these sound so silly in it. Well, they want it to be marketable, but then again, it was to their detriment in the flippin' 90s when those mums didn't want to see the word hell on a toy. But yeah, if you guys were in Juri's stream, like during the last build stream, she showed off like the voice acting competition stuff, and I wasn't there. I was asleep at that point, but to hear my voice acting be showed off so publicly was, I don't know, a little bit weird. And to hear like Juri's reaction to what I've done, and to see the chat go by, I don't know, I think I feel weirdly proud about it, just because, if you guys don't know, I did Amuro and Char in the Build Fighters Battle Log scene. And apparently Juri said that I was scarily good at what I did. And by the way, if you're still here, what do you mean by lean more into it? Because you said I should lean more into doing voice acting. Like, I have thought of doing voice acting as a proper career, but I just never knew where to start. So I just stuck to it with it being a silly passion of mine, and just doing impressions on stream, just to entertain some people. I know I'm doing it very badly, but still, that's like what's keeping that's basically what my motivation is, just to entertain people, to get better at voice acting, entertain people, basically satisfy my inner child. That's where I'm coming from. One reason I'm interested in old school PG kits is because it has more materials than just plastic to deal with. Screws, die-cast metals, parts, cloth pipes, pistons, etc. The experience will be unique, and I'm not much of a new Gundam fan too. Oh yeah, speaking of which, have you guys noticed that we only stuck to plastics like in the for the better part of the last like decade or so? Because I still vividly remember that. Oh my god, I still vividly remember when the G30 Gundam, the G30 high grade, actually has like metal chains for the Gundam hammer. Where's my I'm looking for my pliers. I don't remember where I put them, but it should be somewhere in the room. Anyways. Ugh. Yeah, I have no idea where my pliers went, so I'm just gonna have to brute force this. This is annoying. There we go. Just finally fits it on. So yeah, gunpla in the past. Screws, different materials. I've been there. And if you take a look at the like the G30 Gundam, where it has the metal chain for the Gundam hammer, and maybe you also notice on the action base, it's like, you remember the action base 2? I think the action base 3 also has some screws. Now the action base 1, 2, and 3 have screws. And then the action base 4 and 5 started to phase them out, and that's where I started to develop a problem with them. Just because they're relying on those plastic rings. Like, well, action bases 4 and 5, they rely on the clicks. They rely on some preset positions. But then when it got to the action bases 6 and 7, they rely on those plastic rings that they can be very easily broken if you apply the force wrongly, or if you put a kit that is far too heavy for the base on there. Oh, excuse me. So they can become a little bit unreliable at times. But then with the Action Base 8, they've decided to introduce screws again. I don't know, it's a little bit of a fascinating thing to me. And honestly, I think I wanna experience a kit with more than just plastic. Again. Alright, this... oh, great. Right. Okay, let me catch up on you guys in a bit. Go put M14, M10. Right. If you want to find stupid or funny mech names, dig through the list of Armored Core Arena opponents. You find a lot. I mean, I've only played Armored Core 6 and I already know a lot. Like Milktooth or Matt Stomp. Open Faith. Locks. Oh, I don't think Locksmith can be counted as a stupid name. But if you're talking about more the previous Armored Core titles, then I haven't experienced them, so I would have no say on the matter. Built a Master Grade Strike Noir. Yeah, the screws were interesting to hold the arm and the backpack up. Interesting! The Master Grade Strike Noir has screws to hold it up. That's interesting. I feel like with mods, you can turn the cannon backpack of the Gelgoog into the high mobility pack. To be honest, nothing is impossible with mods. Manap's news stat just went up by 50 points, woo. Yeah, Matt Stomp, I am invincible! Okay. Anyone else excited for the new Hathaway movie? I am. Because I want to see, like... I want to actually be able to do my research and actually see the new designs in action. And I also want to see where it goes. I haven't seen the original mangas. And I don't want any spoilers, but apparently they're taking like they're taking a lot of creative liberties with the Hathaway movie compared to the original Tomino manga. I don't know how true that is. And if that is true, how far did they deviate from the manga? I'm interested to know, but only after I watch the movie. I mean, the Elysius itself is a far departure because it never existed in the first place. Oh god. Is that why? Is that why the legs isn't closing? Yup. Bandai want to make it fun and easy to build, so they only give plastic in the box. It's good for newcomers, but it's yeah, more materials. I'm excited for part 2. Yeah, hopefully they reissue the high grade messer. Did they not? I know they've released the messer mine layer, but did they not reissue the original high grade messer to go with the movie? And by the way, how much do you guys want to see me review the Gustav Karl Type 00? Because I'm personally on the fence about that kit. I'm not particularly interested in it, but I'm not particularly disinterested in it. So I did tell people that maybe it would be a kit I review, but maybe not at launch. And now that Hathaway is like the talk of the town at the moment, I am considering reviewing it. And since people say that it's a very, very good kit and it has no right to be as good as it is intriguing that something that is basically just a fat gym or well, a fat jester can be as good as people say. So I don't know. I'm probably still gonna stick to the principle that I'm only gonna be reviewing kits if I'm interested in them at first glance. So maybe I'm still not gonna jump on it. Penelope, Dorito is the C. Ah, wait, first name, last name. Oh, no wonder you're asking. If it's type 00, why no twin drive? Came by to just say hi for a second. Hey, Knight! Welcome in. And thank you for being the ghost producer for a lot of those glow effects, by the way. And yeah, if you guys don't know, Knight X605 is one of the ghost producers on the channel. He did a lot of the glow effects for some of the thumbnails that you guys might have seen. So honestly, I wanted to save it until the 20k special stream to do so, but honestly, thank you so much for your good work. I might have to pay you back someday, like literally. I'm sorry, but I'm more into the Mono Izaku-esque recently, so my answer is Gauman's Messer. Right. Is that a kit that is going to be releasing in retail later on? I'm not really up to date with the kit releases, so please update me on that. Ah yes, Penelope and the Sna made a kit similar to Penelope. Really? Sna? Glad to have your channel back. Hey Shield, welcome in. I know it's getting a bit boring because I'm honestly getting tired of talking. And if you guys haven't been here at the beginning of the stream, I have perioral dermatitis, so my lips and the surrounding area of my mouth is just bloody dry. So I'm not feeling the best. It's not the best talking, but I just wanted to put out this impromptu stream just so you guys know that I'm back behind the channel again, and maybe just to serve more as an excuse to build more of this next stream Gundam. So I'm gonna be capping the stream off after I finish the legs, and maybe when I feel like it, like I said, I'm gonna be doing streams only when I feel like it. Next time we'll finish off the weapons, the backpack and the weapons, and then maybe finish off the stream once and for all. Finish this build once and for all. And yeah, hopefully maybe next time when the stream when the next stream comes around, I'll have my I'll be more expressive when the avatars are completed. Yeah, I'm glad to see the channel back. When I saw what happened, I was like, great, here we go again. Yes. Indeed, my channel did get hacked before, like in 2022. So I was scouring emails from back then, trying to hopefully get my channel recovered quicker. But ultimately, I still had to wait for YouTube to step in order to get my channel back. But still, I'm glad to have it back. And then again, we are still a couple of subscribers short from making up all the damage, but to be honest, I don't mind. The fact that we were able to make up like 2/3 of the damage, like in 2 days, was already fascinating enough for me. And honestly, thank you all so much for sticking around and for sticking by my side. Now I know why Gunpla Battle is not real yet. Imagine you winning in life in some rando basis Gunpla on some obscure OB character. Yes, Gunpla is based on character is the thing IRL appeared. Honestly, it's just about game balance. It's just about game balance. Got any tips for airbrushing? I had the tools but I'm too intimidated to start. What tools do you have? Like, if you don't already have an airbrush, then you can't really start. But if you do, then keep this ratio in mind. So you have 1 parts paint to 1.5 parts thinner. So if you don't already have like those paints that are pre-thinned, then keep that ratio in mind. So that will allow you to get that would allow you to use paints in an airbrush and not get it clogged. Second of all, for cleaning an airbrush, basically just throw in whatever solvent that is compatible with that paint. So if you throw in acrylics, throw acrylic thinner in there. If you throw in lacquers, put lacquer thinner in there. And then basically introduce backflow and then spray out the excess. It's gonna be not dangerous. It's gonna be messy, but that's basically how I clean my airbrush. And by the way, having lived here for quite a while, do not do any lacquer painting when the surrounding temperature is 15 degrees or under. Like Celsius, obviously. So whenever the surrounding temperature is like 15 degrees Celsius or under, don't do any airbrushing, because that will cause the paints to frost. And like I said before, that's why painting the Gundam Zagan was that much of a pain, because it was frigid cold. I had a hair dryer to keep the drying area clean. Well, to keep the drying area warm, but still, it wasn't working as well as I wanted to, so the paint still got frosted up either way. MJ, are you looking forward to the new Digital Circus episode on the 20th? Yes, I am, but I'm trying to keep myself contained, because I really don't want to fall back into the when to next, like playing the waiting game on an anime or any type of TV series is the worst. So yes, I'm excited, but I don't want to get too excited. Just for the reason that if I get too excited, I know I'm never going to be able to wait for episode 9. The important thing to know about Error is how to clean up efficiently. It will keep your tools for a long time. Yeah, temperatures be #1 enemy for any painters for 3D print people. Essentially, yeah, basically. Alright, all that's left on the P runner is hand covers. That's good to know. I haven't built any, I haven't continued the build for this thing beyond what I've already done on stream. So I haven't built the extra hands, I haven't done anything. I thought of building one leg before I come here, but ultimately I just haven't got the time. And of course with the hacking incidents, I just don't really have anything left in me to consider any of that. Thanks for the tips. Yeah, episode 9 of the Amazing Digital Circus is the final episode. And knowing that, I still probably had to contain my excitement for it, because I am looking forward to it. Airbrushing, I need to get into it eventually outside of Gundam marker stuff, mostly if we're getting the right paints and maintaining proper cleaning. Yeah. And I will highly recommend it. Because if you want to get like custom colors, then using an airbrush is like the only option. After building the high Gundam Mark II Revive, I fell in love with the design and recommend it to any builders as their first kit. Same. Honestly, the Mark II, you can't really go wrong with a Mark II. In any grade. And I've seen, like, there was somebody who suggested I review the real grade Mark II. And I thought to myself, yeah, I've been sitting on this idea for a long time, so I think I might as well. Because I sat on that idea thinking that it will be my excuse to buy a Titans Mark II. Then I just tried to look for it, and it's like, oh my god. It's so hard to look for one nowadays. Just because it hasn't been reprinted for a long time. I had to go to like Japanese proxy sites in order to find myself a copy. It's weird. I took it for granted. I took being able to find like being able to find like a real grade Mark II for granted. And look at me now. I had to scour the internet to find one. I got myself a new airbrush recently, a Gallery one. It's haven't used though, but I only heard good things. Which one of Gallery did you get? Because I have been looking into the brand recently, and honestly, that one custom airbrush, that's the one that's tempting me. Although it's bloody expensive, being about £200. But I really want to have a tool that has my channel name engraved on it. Just so that it's like one of a kind, it's mine. And it represents my brand. So that's tempting me. But I did look into the other ones, and I honestly don't know what the differences are. Where's my Mark IV Bandai? Stuck in SD land. I agree. Any of the Revive High-Grade Gundam based kits are good options. You didn't? I thought you reviewed the Real Grade Mark II already. No, I haven't. This will need some assistance. Yep, I'm just gonna glue this in, I don't care. Well, not even glue worked, so there must be something to troubleshoot. There must be. I'm just gonna trim the peg and see if it works. Have you seen the upcoming Hololive Gunpla? Yes, and I don't know if they're custom builds. Like, some of them are custom built, some of them are figures. I don't know. You can basically just nick those color schemes and just reproduce them on your own. Now I'm just gonna glue the back one in as well. I'm not in the mood to fiddle with it. And since I'm not top coating it, who cares if I have clear pieces on? You should get the Mark II Casval Custom, lol. Is that a thing? The Advanced Series got 39 for about 30 quid from Gallery. Oh, the Advanced Series. I mean UK for context. I think I can tell from you in the server. But if it takes them no time to ship, then maybe it's worth checking out. I love my Mark II Titans colors. Too bad mine's ankle joint is a bit loose even after applying the joint strengtheners. Wait a minute. What do you mean high? Wait, strengtheners on a high grade? I mean, my Mark II is fine. Not unless you're talking about the original one. But even when my Revive Mark II got turned into the Super Gundam, it still stayed pretty sturdy. No, it's not, but why not a Reg Mark II? Because Char already has the Delta Gundam? Oh, I'm sorry, Quattro Bagina. Okay. After watching 50 episodes of Zeta Gundam, I slowly grow to love many of the designs in that series for some reason. That's the thing about attachment. You grow more attached to things that you've been exposed to for a prolonged period of time. And of course, with the weird designs of Zeta, naturally you'll fall in love with those as well. But that's also kind of the reason why I don't really have... Wait a minute, what's 14 used for? I'm gonna get there when I get there. 14 and 17 are apparently used, I don't know where. Next page maybe. So that's the thing with mecha designs. If you get to see them for a long time, you will get attached to them. That's like kind of my point. What I was talking about the G-Reco designs. Have you guys ever seen G-Reco in any shapes, in any like shape or form? The turnover on those designs was just ridiculous. Especially when you get to like the JIT core designs, like, you know, the Gion, what's that gigantic mobile armor? The Jastama stuck around for a little bit, but then again, you get to like stuff like the G Lucifer, the Dharma, the Dahak, the Trinity. Those designs haven't appeared for long at all. Like the worst of the bunch being the Dahak and the Trinity. They've only appeared for like half an episode. Well, the Dahak specifically. The Trinity, I think, has a little bit more screen time. But the turnover on those designs was quite high. And that's precisely the reason why it's hard to get attached to them. Because you barely ever see him. Like, think about it. Klimnik. When I say this character, besides him proclaiming himself a genius, which mobile suit do you immediately think of? A lot of people may just say, oh, the Montero. And, okay, the Montero didn't last long, but it's his iconic suit because he got introduced in it. What else? Now, I don't know how many people would manage to say the Space Jahanam or the Dahak. I love all the Hathaway suits. I'm okay on them. Like, I like the Sea Gundam for how weird it looks. And that really throws a wrench in the works for people who say, oh, all Gundams look the same. It's like, no. There are some Gundams that look fairly distinct. Oh, hi MJ. Hey Ren! Welcome back. Yeah, I'm saying welcome back to myself. But yeah, welcome in. Yep, I'm back. Thankfully, this matter got resolved in like 2 days. But how many Neo Zeon designs are so large and weird? What, like the Gallus J or the Queen Mantha? Yeah, to be honest, I don't really feel an attachment to Double Zeta. I don't know why, but it's just this weird feeling that Double Zeta has always been the black sheep. So I don't really much care about the grunt designs. That's like the main reason why I don't have the Gallus J, because I really don't care for it. in my opinion, for mecha designs, what matters is the design language, to where it's how the mecha suit fits into the design language, what they establish. I like the G Reco suits more than G Quux. Yeah, because G Quux, they just went on their they just went their own way. They just told the EVA designer to design a Gundam, and then they just went with it. Meanwhile, they also have these classic looking suits that completely ruin the cohesion. Because, and especially because the nostalgia surrounding the classic suits, that you mentally associate them with a certain aesthetic, if that makes any sense. So when you have stuff like the Red Gundam, or the G Fred, G Quux, and even the not Gelgoog, they just stick out like sore thumbs. And to a lesser extent, the Zaku itself also has like a little bit of a design clash. Mostly because the top half is a Zaku, but the bottom half is someone, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe the bottom half. Don't have the Xi yet. I'm waiting for the third film version that recreates the G-Gen look. And maybe it will have the tail unit. I'm told that the Xi Gundam has a tail unit that they haven't debuted. So maybe they'll put that on the Xi Gundam. But to be honest, I'm still taking the opportunity to redo the review to give a more updated perspective on the Xi Gundam. That should be the other leg done. Wait a sec, what is... Wait, I must have missed something. What is... I'm sorry guys, I'm reading the manual to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Huh, weird. So what is L14 and L17 used for? Ah, okay. There must be spare parts for the chest, I suppose. But anyways, let me catch up. Gonna be real, the only Neo Zeon suit I liked from Double Zeta was the R Jaja. But yeah. If we talk about designs, we need to talk about age, man. The designs are so odd, kind of toyish, not my thing. That's because it's produced by the guys who've done LBX. Which from Mercury related to design language makes sense given they're all 4 different fashions with their own focuses and design languages. Yep, exactly. Valid Shadow. Gundam Agent is vague in designs. is pretty cool compared to the MC faction. Indeed, they're unique. Okay, so that's both legs done. Now, this guy can stand. The basket moves. This one has a dropping mechanic, individually dropping mechanic, actually. That's pretty nice. So the legs can swing forward, back, pull the full side splits. And let me just bend this. There's one, and then there's two. So that is basically... Get the arm out of the way. So basically that's the armor separation right there. Which is very cool if you ask me. And accented with all the golden vents and whatnot. And yep, here it is. Let me actually put up the photo right here. I mean, obviously there's going to be differences. They have to be legally distinct. But you can definitely see those Extreme Gundam ties. Oh wait, one sec. Indeed. Okay, now I'm complete. Okay, C design language. Big rings go burr. Yep, I'm off then. Nice for having you here, Sirenus. C Gundam Penelope, Gundam C, so they're from UC timeline. Okay, they look off. Yeah. For me, I like double O designs the most. The human made suits are blocky, having circle powered spots. And to the CB suits to give an advanced vibe, but the innovate suits have a more foreign vibe. Yeah, looks good. Damn. Yeah, the thing is almost complete. The not Gundam Extreme, something Chinese. Can it hit the dab? We shall see. The arms can definitely show promise. I love that it has a wrist joint over here. It's so elegant. Oh yeah, I completely forgot the skirts are double jointed. So what do you want me to do? The Mecha Kotsu dab pose. Yeah, the new leg will need some greasing up, but it can hit the dab pretty well, especially with the toe joints. And I know I don't have the backpack yet, but it can stand pretty well just with the just like that. Can it moonwalk? No. It's 2016 again. Woo. Yeah. He could do a Yas pose. I love it. Yep. Still feel for seats over the top designs for your backpack. I still hold the Destiny and Red Frame as peak of CE universes. Two sides of designs. Yeah, anyways, hopping off for now for dinner. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for having me. Night. Have a good night. Other Plamo 30 MF. Dark Souls, Elden Ring, I'm a fan of fantasy RPG. Not me. Smooth Criminal Lean. Impossible. Not unless you have the backpack here to counterbalance it. But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for this emergency meeting. I'm so glad that you guys stuck around until the very end. And glad to be back. Hopefully we will make up the 44 subscriber difference soon, so that we can get back to where we were. But honestly, thank you all so much in whatever efforts you put in to get to my channel back. So thank you all for popping in, and I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Good night. Ah, Cup, that's not funny.